one of the oldest cemeteries in New Jersey. Joshua eyed his brother's headstone. Under different circumstances, the black granite would have been impressive. He grunted. About 50 yards away, a group of mourners gathered around a fresh grave site. Some were standing, some sitting on tan folding chairs set at the edge of the unwelcome hole covered in green felt cloth. A minister was speaking in a booming rhythmic voice, but his words were lost to the distance. Joshua could only pick up snatches. Pain and suffering, and no more grief and sorrow. The ideas were incongruous, that you could move from suffering to feeling no grief. But perhaps the preacher was speaking to the numbness Joshua still felt 2 years after his brother was taken from him. Darius Adams, October 12, 1999, February 19, 2017. Son and brother. The words carved in the stone floated toward him, mocking in their finality. Darius had been so young, he hadn't gotten the chance to stalk his dreams. Son, brother. Would have been so much more if he'd lived longer. R.I.P. Bread. Joshua snapped his head around, startled, and, for a brief, bewildering moment, he couldn't make sense of the tall man standing beside him. 6'5", with a baritone to rival the minister's voice. His cousin Nate. He'd come up with the nickname Bread, a blending of black and red, as in the old Jordans, because Darius was such a sneakerhead, vain to the point of ridicule about his kicks. We should head out now, Joshua said, rising from his mental fog. He draped a pair of burgundy shoelaces over the headstone like a shawl, next to a grimy gray pair and some dirty ones he remembered as being yellow. He and Nate came here after every job, so that meant the elements had taken 6 other pairs. Stay cool, Nate told him. Joshua said, What's up? Alani, Nate nodded off in the distance. Looks like she has a bouquet. Joshua turned, squinting. His ex's hair was trimmed and dyed platinum blonde. She was a few pounds heavier than when he'd last seen her, but the added weight only accentuated her already ridiculous curves. Beautiful as ever, with rich mocha skin and hopeful eyes. Even from a distance, Joshua could see the desire burning in them. Let's go out the other side, he said. Nate frowned. You're not even going to say hello to her? No. Woman still laying flowers on Darius's. Joshua didn't care to hear any of that. He took off walking,